Hello, welcome to the channel everyone. Today we will be going over how to get to the Altus Plateau with a new character. So you can see that this is a new character, level 5. There's a few runes I've gotten just from going through to get to this point. We're going to be starting in the Mistwood outskirts. Now from here we're just going to follow to this beacon over here. And make sure you grab the map. Watch out for the bears, of course. This will put us pretty close to the minor tree. Now from here, we're going to go to this fort over here. Now this fort is where the first half of this medallion we need is. So I'm going to mark that on the map. Now, once you get over here, there is a site of grace just to the right of this fort. So there's the fort, and just right there is the site of grace. So we're going to go ahead and take that site of grace back to the fort. Now up here, you're going to need to be careful. There's going to be a lot of enemies throughout this that you'll need to avoid. So here you can get a golden seed. Up these stairs, there's one of the pumpkin head guys. So just go around him. And these guys throw bombs, and you want to try to avoid those. And don't have this happen to you. Ouch. There's a stronger guy at the top here, but you could just run past and go up this ladder before he starts to follow you. And that's how you get the left side of the medallion. So that's the first half we'll need. So now we'll need to go to get the second half of the medallion. And that is going to involve going to Caelid. So I'm going to show you how to get there. Going over to this, the Mistwood outskirts again. I'm going to put some beacons here so you can see. This first beacon is going to take us to the church. And from this church, I'll show you how you can get to Caelid. So once you get to the third church of America, go ahead, gather your stuff, of course, like the physic. And then there are spots where you can jump up behind the third church of America to get up to Caelid. So I'm just going to put a beacon there, but there's these spots I'm also going to be marking as I get to them where you can jump up. So right here's the first one. And then there's some wolves up there. You can just ride past them if you go on to the right. and jump up. And then you'll just need to jump up again. And we're going to go up here into Caelid. Now, there's a church here on the left, but I do not recommend going there yet because you will get an invasion, and that invasion, you may not be ready for it at this point because you only have a level 5 character. So unless you're really skilled and want a good challenge, I would recommend just skipping that church for now. We're going to go up here. So right about there. Follow the Beacon is the game we're going to be playing for a little bit. There's a Site of Grace right here. Grab ourselves this little butterfly. And then we're just going to go over here. But something that's important that you'll see up here is we don't want to go straight towards the thing because there's some dino dogs right there and we want to go around them. So we're going to go up, above, and then back down. And this will put us next to our next Site of Grace. And this will also put us in range to see where our map is. So we're going to go there next. Now there's this spot over here where you're going to have to jump over. And so I'm going to mark that on the map, but you want to make sure you don't fall in there. Here's our next Site of Grace. And in addition to that, we're really close to the map. And there's the map. Now this next section is going to involve going around some dragons. So keep that in mind. We're going to go up here and cross over to this fort. So right there's our fort. We'll put a beacon there. And we're just going to go right past these dragons. If you see a dragon, just go maybe a little out of the way and then go back around to the path. We're going to see the really big dragon, the mother dragons or whatever. We're going to see some sleeping dragons. We're just going to go right past them. And here is our next Site of Grace. You can see we're right next to that really big dragon. If you kill that using bleed, for instance, you can get 70,000 souls, or not souls, 70,000 runes. We're going to go ahead and go inside this fort here. This is a tricky area, and it may take a few attempts, but you're just going to run past everything. Hop over these guys. This guy will try to poison you. You're going to go up the ladder, though. Just keep going. If he poisons you, it's not a huge deal. You will have to heal a lot, though. The poison is pretty bad, especially for this low of level. But get up here, and then all you have to do is open this chest, and you will have the next side, the other side of the medallion. So you have the right side now, giving us a full medallion. So the next part is, now that we have the full medallion, we need to actually get to the lift. Now the lift is behind the castle, so normally you would need to go and defeat the first kind of boss, but you can actually go around him going to this finger reader here. So I'm going to put a beacon here. You can skip fighting the first major boss, and what you're going to do is follow this path. So first we're going to take pretty much the same route you would as if you're going towards the boss. We're going to grab our golden seed and get to our site of grace here. Okay, from this site of grace and the Stormhill Shack, once again we're going up to this finger reader. So what we're going to do is, instead of taking a left to follow this path, we're going to go up through these trees here. So you can see that was the normal path over there. But we're going here, and you will see here's our beacon and the finger readers right here on the right. And when you get to the end here, you can actually go down this path here. So you can see how we could skip all these bosses and enemies and everything, and we could go straight to the capital kind of area, the Altus Plateau area. And all we have to do is follow this path after we get the medallion. So going through here, there's going to be some wolves and stuff. Just go ahead and ignore them. Just kind of let the left side guide you as far as where you're going. And then once you get out here, there will be a site of grace. Go ahead and get that. And then there's also a church over here. So we're going to go ahead and grab this church. So this is the path that we took, just up through there. So there's the church. Get your sacred tear. Now over here, you're going to see some of these gravestone-like structures that are hanging out like that. And those gravestone-like structures, or headstones, that's kind of what they look like to me, is like tombstone kind of structures. You're going to land on those to get down. There is another way to get down, but you'll need to get over to this side, and this is the most efficient way to get over to this side of the path. So you're going to very carefully drop down here. So my trick is to aim for the rock that the tombstone-like things are connected to, because that part isn't going to, you're going to be able to overshoot into the wall and it will push you onto them. But if you undershoot, then you could fall off. So it's fine to overshoot and like hug the wall as you fall onto the tombstone. So that's kind of my technique. So as you go up here, there'll be a site of grace on the left-hand side. You can see the little things coming off it. And the easiest thing to do from here is to get the map, because you're going to need to follow a path that is very difficult to see without the map. So we're going to go out of our way a little bit and grab this map. Now this map can be a little tricky to get because there's these guys that are around it. If you're sneaky, you can go up behind it, behind the statue, and grab it. Watch out for the lobsters, of course. And then make your way back to the site of grace. If you ever have a time where enemies aren't trying to kill you, then you could just warp. I unfortunately had to ride pretty much the whole way back. So once you're here, you're going to follow these. There's going to be this little area to jump over, and that's the third one. So first, we're going over here, and there'll be kind of a fork in the road, one going up and the other one going down and straight. So the one going right and up is the path we'll end up taking. So this is our first one. And there's a site of grace over to the left. So right here is the site of grace. So we'll grab that. And then we'll be going up on the right. You'll see the little statue that points towards the catacombs. You can see right here's the site of grace and the pathway we'll be taking. Now, there will be some tricky enemies here, so you're going to want to watch out for them and go around them. Like this crab, you don't want to fight that at level 5. So we'll go around that. And then also there's this skeleton boat guy. You're going to go ahead and go around him as well. So just kind of jump over these rocks on the side here. You can see him to the right. There'll also be this knight that will be walking on the path. You'll want to avoid him as well. He's pretty strong for you to try to fight at level 5. But eventually you'll get to this shack where there will be the artist shack, a painting, and a site of grace. There is also a stone 4 right here, smithing stone 4. And there's this little area here that you can jump from one side to the other. Be careful, it's not too tricky, but just be careful, of course. You can see there's the artist shack. There's the area we just jumped over. And now we're going up here. Now the next tricky enemy to watch out for is that thing over there that has like kind of the green head. It can shoot these fireballs that will one-shot you at level 5. So we're just gonna keep an eye on him, avoid him, go around him so he doesn't get in range. Once we get to this part of the path, we're gonna take a left. And we're going to be going up to a church where we will see a large turtle. This turtle is pretty cool. And if you get any sorcery or any kind of incantation, books or scrolls or anything, you can give it to him and learn them through him. There's a site of grace here. So of course, wave to the dog. Hey! Now, from this church, we're going to go back down the path and we're going to go through a fairly treacherous area. But I will show you how to safely navigate this area. So as you go down here to these rocks, you will notice, so we're going to go to the left here, and I'm going to show you, there's these archer guys that will kill you really fast if you're a low level like you are. So what we're going to do is we're going to, we could take one shot from the extra power arrow this guy will shoot us with, but nothing else. So we're going to hide behind this rock here and just wait till he shoots his next arrow. And then we're going to book it. Now, when you get up here, you're going to go to your left. Now this next part, you're gonna need to jump to the left over this rock right here. So there's this statue. You're gonna jump up here. If he shoots you once, it's okay. Go ahead and get to this site of grace. That area may take a few times of practice, but once you get here and get to that site of grace, you're safe. So the next area we're going to go up to, we're going to get to the next site of grace, and then we're going to go and jump down. So first off, watch out for this guy. Don't get too close to him because he does this. And that will obviously kill you. So don't get too close to that guy until he's already jumped. So you're going to go up here to the right behind the jumping statue where the lake is. See him jumping there. And there's going to be more statues, and behind one of these statues is a site of grace. Alright, from here we're going to go to the left. Now there's a certain spot up here on the left that I'm going to show you where you can get down. So there's those tombstone things again, and they'll be right about there. So we're going to go to the beacon. And you'll see some tombstones laying down, and right there is where tombstones are. Now this could be a little tricky to get down from. Once again, what I like to do is I like to jump towards kind of the cliff that the tombstone's hanging onto, because if you fall against that, you're not going to overshoot falling into the wall of the cliff, but you can undershoot it and die. So I'm just gonna position myself, and it's easier to also fall onto them than it is to jump. So if you just kind of fall onto them, that is usually a safer idea. That time I jumped just to be sure because of the distance. But just be very careful, take your time. You don't need to rush this. Patience is probably the biggest thing here. You can see me going against that wall there though. Alright, once you made it down here, there's going to be a site of grace pretty close to the entrance to the academy up here. So right here is where our site of grace is. Now from here, we're going to go up this path to get to the lift. But something really important is after we go through this forest, there's going to be catapults that will shoot at us unless we stay to the left. If we stay far to the left, they won't be able to hit us. Now, there is a church here though, so make sure you stop at this church. Of course, get the tear and the site of grace. Once again, we're gonna kind of stick to the left-hand side. So that way the catapults won't really shoot at us. They may still shoot at us, but we have a much better chance of avoiding getting shot at if we stick to the left here. Of course, don't go off the edge though. So I'll show you where I am. We're getting close to this area where we're going to have to jump up, and I'll show you how to do that. It's a little item right here that's kind of hiding a rune arc. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump up onto this thing and then jump over. So you jump up onto this first part, the double jump, and then the next section, and then you're going to jump straight over to there. And you can see we're right next to one of those catapults. And just like that, we were able to avoid getting shot at. And now we are to the lift. Let's go ahead and touch the site of grace. And then up here, there's a circle that's like on the right here. You're gonna press Y or whatever button it tells you to lift up the medallion. And now you have arrived at the Altus Plateau. However, I'm going to show you how to get to a better area because actually there's two huge guys, two giants that you don't want to deal with. So I'll show you how to get the map as well as to a better site of grace. So let's go ahead and go to the left here so they don't notice us. And we're going to go a little further left and then back onto the trail. So right here and then right, oh. So go left a little bit and then back onto the trail. Now there is a bridge and there's a big drop down. So we're going to need to go to the left and then try to get close to that edge. We're not going over the edge, of course, but right there is where the bridge is. So we're just going to jump up here, and you will notice if you do that kind of around to that spot that the archer guy won't start shooting at you, the giant archer. So from here we're going to go over to this path, which will get us a little closer to where the map is, as well as another seed. So we're gonna be going over there in a second. We're gonna go up here first, and then we're gonna go over there. That way we can get, like I said, there's a seed over there as well as the map. We're gonna get a little closer to those things. All right, that should put us close enough to be able to see the little marker for where the map is. So we're going to redo these where this one's at the map now and then back over here. And if you follow this, don't want to go in that camp. Those guys are stronger than you. But you'll want to grab the seed here, this tree. And of course, grab the map. And now we can go over to the site of grace. And this is the site of grace that you get to when you first go up after you defeat the magma Worthen, the boss that you usually have to fight to get to the Altus Plateau. So I'm gonna take you there. That will help orient you kind of probably to what you're most used to, unless you usually do get the lift to work. And there's also a seed over here, which is another reason I wanted to take you over here. And just like that, we have made it to our site of grace. And you can see we have our map. And there's the entry grazing hill. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.